Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Danielle. So we are going to do a pick a card reading with 3 piles today, and our question is, what is your soul purpose? And I know there is plenty of soul purposes you have out there, but I was just feeling like some people might need a little reminder about what beautiful light they're here to bring on the world, or what gifts they have to share with the world. So this is just a little pick me up about what you need to hear right now, about why you're here, why the world needs you. So pile 1 is going to be this point. It is a shamanic point, or some people call it garnet quartz point, or even lodolite, I believe is the other one they use, point. So it has a lot of inclusions within the quartz itself. Or you can choose this card here, the water with a bridge. Here, I'll bring it closer for you all. Pile 2 is this clear quartz point. Or we have this card underneath, which is a sunset or a sunrise on the ocean. And pile 3 is this Smokey Quartz point. Or we have this card here, which is a ocean, and I believe sort of sandy coastlines is what it's supposed to be. And I just want to point out this is actually a cathedral agate. And unfortunately, you can't see the coolest part of it with all the really beautiful colors in it. But it's just so beautiful, I think, and so cool looking. So that is our decor for today, or the crystal energy we're bringing in is that. And then I also have another piece of the shamanic quartz or garden quartz as well. I just felt like we could all use that energy. Yeah, all right. So without further ado, I am going to get into your card readings. Hello, pile 1. So you all chose the shamanic quartz or the garden quartz. You know what? I will put it right there beside the other one. And let's look at, why are you here? What's the reminder that you need to hear? So we have decide, may you navigate with purpose. Receive, may you know you are worthy of the gift. Forgive, may you let it be. Space, may your heart and your scope expand. Gratitude, may you honor all that you receive. And then we have the unseen, soul cage, Atlantis, beautiful card, rapid development, excellence and success, and divine sensuality, making love, erotica. All right. Oh, I got a cute cat in there. Okay, so let's take a look here. Okay, pile 1. So the question was, what is the purpose you need to remember that you're here for right now? And I just keep getting drawn to this path here, this path in the water. And it keeps making me think about how I think this pile was literally here to make their own path, make their own wave, I want to say. And there's a lot of messaging here about not living an ordinary life. So this Atlantis card where it says rapid development, excellence, and success, I feel like it's like always being able to see situations differently from others, like to observe what's going on and um, ask yourself why people are doing things that way. I think this is what you are naturally gifted towards. You're very inquisitive. If you've heard some people talk about being divergent or narrow divergent, I think is the word they use. This is what that makes me think of. Is always seeing things clearly from a different perspective, or really kind of being like, well, why is someone doing that? That doesn't really make sense. And here, the soul cage, rescue, escape from captivity and restriction. I see this as definitely a confirmation, especially right next to the Atlantis card, of talking about how you were always meant to break out of that. We would call it 3D realm, lower vibration, that way of thinking, the norm. That's probably even a better word for this pile. You were meant to break free of the norm. And with the divine sensuality card over here, I keep thinking specifically about being completely yourself. So, divine sensuality doesn't need to mean like being very sexually deviant or something like that. I actually see this as just being so in love with and certain of who you are. And the other thing that I keep seeing with these cards here, these mermaid deck cards, and even the ruin card here, is talking a lot about going within yourself to find the answers and embracing your full self. And I think that is really coming through with this divine sensuality card. Just so much here about loving yourself and being empowered by that, and coming out of the social norms of having to feel guilty or shameful, or just even like they're saying, like seeing your body more as a material thing, or seeing your body as something that you're always trying to change, like make more beautiful, stop aging. I just see like defying those kind of standards. You were quite literally destined to come here and do that. So I do think there is a lot of people in your life with the soul cage card where they are a little bit stuck in that system, in that belief system of their peers, of society still. And even think you escaping it, I shouldn't say necessarily escaping it, but you breaking free of it, seeing above it, is what helps, you could say, rescue other people. I don't really want to use that word though, because I feel like I don't want you to think that you have to save people. Like, it's more like by you doing this for yourself, you become a role model, which then others want to, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like in this role model relationship, or influence is the better word, you inspire others to take action, or be like, what is she doing or he doing that is different from what I'm doing? How are they so happy? They used to be this way. Like, it's so funny. It's like we don't realize how what we do for ourselves is what inspires people the most. Like when we are doing something and we're happy and we've conquered our own personal limits and programming, that's what people see. And it's nothing that we can say will impact it as much as what people can see we've achieved and we've become. So there's just, yeah, I feel like there's so much like power and so much light you bring to this earth by doing this, getting out of this. And I can't tell for sure if this pile is still in the process of getting out of this sort of system, or this peer influence, or these, you could say, cage is the word it uses here. Or if you're out and you're just wondering, I feel like maybe some people here are having a hard time being like, I'm so different, I don't know where I fit in, I don't know my calling, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And it really is that you're here to be different. And you do know people who are still in that other vibration, you could say, or mental space, because you are meant to inspire and be a role model for them to get out of it by their own means, by just reflecting who you are to them. and being okay with it. So there is a little message though here where it says the unseen, too much is hidden from you, where it makes me think that some of you or some people in this pile still are on the journey of discovering themselves and fully embracing themselves and loving themselves. And I don't want to use cliche wording like getting out of the 3D dimension, but I feel like that's like the best lingo I know how to use to convey this, where I'm seeing like they're saying like if you're going through a bit of a dark night of the soul, or if you're just having some really low lows and some struggles, and know that there's many of people who have gone through this, and you don't have to do this on your own. You don't need to have no support, have no guidance. I just keep getting like people around you, whether it's just you're Googling something, finding something on YouTube, finding an actual practitioner who went through the same thing, and maybe they're going to do some coaching for you or some mentoring for you. Whatever it is, they're just saying, just know that you don't need to learn from your own hard mistakes in this. There are other people who can share their experience, and it can cut out some of the struggle for you. That's what I keep getting, is like there's so many people who have gone through this now. You don't have to go through it from scratch. You can learn from others. So yeah, just if you're struggling with something, maybe just something to consider. Don't have to do it alone. Don't have to do it alone. I actually feel like for this pile though, it would be maybe nice for you to have like a in-person interaction with someone, or like a one-on-one interaction where people can really understand where you're coming from and give you real-time feedback about their personal experiences, because I think if I'm picking up on the energy right, it is just feeling really low for some of you right now. And it's interesting because I almost wonder if these were like a little bit of advice cards up here, these water cards, like deciding which path you want to take. And I think this is talking about like, do you want to rise above and be more of a free thinker? I don't know. I feel like those are all not quite the right wording. Like, do you want to keep going with the group mentality? It's not even like all group mentality is bad, but I'm specifically talking about the limiting stuff, the programming that's been around for a while that doesn't really empower anyone or make anyone feel good. Like, you can choose to leave that behind you and try something new, something not so limiting, I even think. And then what are we looking at here? So forgive. I feel like this is like the healing journey process of this, like forgiving. I just even feel like it's talking about forgiving yourself, forgiving just how others may have treated you, forgiving the wounding that was put onto you, that was just generationally put out there, and it's been hurting people again and again. And gratitude, I like how that always comes in when it's talking about, although there's some really low points, it's important to be grateful or remind yourself that things are going good and there are good things, because you just want to change your focus, right? You don't want to get too focused on things not working out and everything being really hard. And I know there is like that balance, right? There's like that holding space for yourself. There's also remembering to hold space to be excited for the future, where things are going, for things that have gone right. Sorry, my cat is like rubbing his head on this camera. Yeah, I think you can literally just see his whiskers. Hey, cutie. Hi, cutes. I guess he just needs a little bit of love, hey? A little bit of love. Thanks, Charlie. Guess he's sending you all a little bit of love. He just started purring and rubbing his face all over that. Okay. Space. May your heart and your scope expand. This is an interesting card. I almost feel like this is talking a little bit about meditation and going within, like having space literally to just focus on yourself. Go and ask yourself, how you're feeling, what's going on, just, just I feel general meditation. Because this card here, there's some more information here actually too, but it's talking about like the the most answers you can find are going to be when you go within yourself and you just ask yourself, what's going on, what's up, what do I need right now, how am I feeling, what do I need to work through, and just holding space for that. That is how you're going to get the fastest progress. Not always the answer we love, but the other thing here, there's a little bit of advice here too, where I feel like it's saying, um, like, I think if you can meditate in a room in your house, because some of you might be able to just meditate outside, maybe weather is still good, that's awesome, do that. But if you're someone who lives in a colder climate, and it is winter for you, or even just like a really rainy season or something, you can see that they're encouraging you to get some house plants. And if you do have a cat or a dog, maybe just make sure that they're okay for cats and dogs. And I can see you just sitting at home around these plants and it being grounding for you, because it will feel like you're connected to nature, even though you are stuck in the indoors. So that's like a little bit of an advice card for somebody here. But yeah, I do feel like because the cats here, I keep thinking you have to make sure though that it's plants that are safe for your pets, because you don't want them getting sick, because they tend to like to chew on those things. Let's see what else is going on here. What is your soul purpose right now? You know what? I think the other thing, I feel like a bit of a gloominess feeling. I've been feeling that since I tuned into this energy, and I wonder if that's just how this pile is feeling right now. Just a little gloomy, a little depleted, and a little disheartened is the word I want to use. Like maybe things have just been really tough lately, and you're just, yeah, I feel like this pile's just feeling a little bit like maybe there's like a lack of support systems, a lack of like-minded people, and it's just kind of wearing on you a little bit. So when I see that coming in, I think they're saying like that is important for you to focus on going within and just asking what's coming up right now for you. What is going on? Why are you feeling this way? And meditation, going within, is going to be the fastest way to know it. And I even feel like if you can just hold space for yourself to really feel that, I think it will help it go away, because it's not being ignored. It's going to be held, and then it should hopefully, um, I would almost say, be released. That's the right word, release. Oh, sorry, Charlie. There you go. Nice spot for you. Yeah, and I think just really the guides really want to just encourage you and remind you, like, look how beautiful these cards are here. You know, they're so beautiful. Like, I love just the graphics on it, but also it just seems like they're so free and they're so empowered and they're so like okay. Like I feel like both images feel very sensual, very liberated, very like self-love, empowerment. Like there isn't any shame here. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. There's no shame here in who they are and what they want. And I feel like that is the end goal for you. I'm pretty sure you're gonna get there if you're not there already. And this is just like such a powerful card about how it like shines out, influences and helps other people. But there will be some challenges to get through here over here with the soul cage and the unseen card that you'll have to face to get to this place. And that's okay. I think it's all part of why you're here, what you wanted to learn. And I feel like there's definitely like this is only part of the journey. There's so much more after this. There's so much more soul purpose that you have to be out there. But a really big one though is just even shifting the energy of the people around you by being this high energy, this high, deeply self-accepting energy radiating off of you. It's really beautiful. You know what? I kind of want to read this card from the guidebook because it just feels, I can't stop thinking about it. It's so beautiful. It feels so powerful. Let's see if they have some words or wording that would really resonate with you all. So here we go. It says, we are at the golden moment in time. So much is changing so quickly. humans are awakening, and the planet at the point of having a time that is at once peaceful and exciting, dynamic and comforting. It can be a time of greatness in your life, but you will need courage, and the desire for the power over must be shifted to the power to. The more you know you are connected to the divine, that you are the divine itself, the more you will behave in ways that are divine. When you lose that connection and that belief, when you view yourself as merely impermanent, meaningless players on a stage, temporary witnesses, then the gold time can vanish. Keep the vision alive. It is time to strike that balance between selflessness and that actualized self who is operating out of love, not her hubris. I'm not sure what hubris means, but yeah, I think that's a really beautiful way of saying it. Is just like, I think you're even here because of this time on earth, of this like raising of the frequency of all of us. It's almost like we no longer, as a collective, want to be slaves to our fear, to our shame, to our guilt. And I think that's why there's people like yourself, many people like yourself now, actually, who are here just to raise that vibration. And as you raise it, it makes the people who are on the lower vibration, it makes it easy for them to get pulled up. Because if everyone's energy is higher, everyone's vibration is higher, everyone's frequency is vibrating higher, naturally that will affect their vibration to also become higher. So it's really beautiful. And I think that even talks about in this card where it says it's like selflessness, but it's also taking care of your own needs. It's not, you're not doing it just for others, you're doing it for yourself, which is just like the greatest thing you can do. I feel like a big thing that society has put in us is that to take care of our needs is selfish. And that is another concept that needs to go away. Why could it possibly be selfish to want to take care of our own needs and make ourselves the highest vibration that we can be? It's kind of a funny thing. Also, just another funny thought to think about. If we all are one, if we really all come from one thing and we are all connected and we all are the same thing, just different sides of the same coin, you could say, or different aspects of the same feature, I just keep thinking like, can selfishness really exist if we are all one? Because to do something for ourselves, we all are ourselves. So I don't know. It's just like a funny thought. It's kind of like a is that called like a paradox or something? I don't know. I think about that a lot. Can selfishness really exist? And also another interesting thing is a lot of times when someone thinks someone's being selfish and sees that in someone, often there's something coming up within ourselves that we need to ask about. Don't get me wrong, it's not that people sometimes don't think about consequences of their actions. I just think often if we see someone being like, oh, I don't want to go to this, I'm going to do this other activity instead, we can be like, oh, it's so selfish of them not to go to that person's party. That person really would like it, but then it's like, well, maybe it really wasn't in their highest good to go to that party. Maybe someone there can, I don't know, maybe someone there sometimes makes them feel lower vibration. Maybe they just don't have the energy for that party. Like, I don't know, stuff like that I sometimes think about, where we can get upset for people when maybe they were being self-honoring, but it didn't align with what we thought should be the right thing to do. I don't know. Anyways, I don't even know why I'm really talking about that. But yeah, I hope this pile's doing okay. You know, like I do feel like some low vibes, just some kind of sad vibes, gloomy vibes. And I think it's just the struggle, you know, the struggle of, I think for this pile specifically, I think you're one of the few in your circles right now, or maybe your family systems, that are kind of shifting out of this. So it can feel hard because when you're talking to other people, I don't think they're not in the same space. They're not seeing things the same way. So there's just such a big call to find other people who have gone through this, because there's so many, and then you won't have to go through it alone. That doesn't need to be the story anymore of like the healer or the light worker. They don't need to be isolated and alone and struggling going through it alone. I think we're shifting out of that. We have community now. And we have such amazing resources like the internet to connect with those other people, so we don't have to be alone. Okay, well, I'm wishing you the best of luck. Hopefully this brought some clarity. Hope you guys find a little bit of a smile and some joy. And I guess, like it said, maybe just focus on doing some deep dive. Look within yourself to see why are you feeling this way? What's going on? And what can you do for yourself to shift out of this? Hello, pile 2. So you all chose this clear quartz point. I will just put them over here. Okay, let's see what you got. We have Beauty, which is actually a very beautiful card. May you perceive nature's artistry afresh. Begin, also a beautiful card. Wild. Man, I love all the graphics you're getting. Curious. Heard. Oh, and I think you have a couple more cards than the last pile. Persist. And then we have, what's interesting card. And then we have the Feihu, I think is how you say it. Energy field adjustment. Song of the Siren. Irima. And Farewell to the Moon. Okay, I'm just going to rearrange these so you can see a bit better. Okay, there you go. I think you can see things a little clearer. Oh, I just can't get over how beautiful these cards are. Okay, first thing I want to talk about is these goldfish, funny enough. I can't stop looking at them and how this card here says energy field adjustments, and then the goldfish here, I feel like they're talking about living in harmony with I think with your environment. So it could be living in harmony with the people around you, even, and the I think the physical locations you're in. Yeah, I feel like for this pile, you might be struggling a little bit with feeling like other people might be heavier than you are, or just like maybe they're a little more depressed. They're a little just generally heavier, denser or something than your energy is. So I feel like there's like a thing here talking about energy shielding. And like that's how you can cope with that, because ultimately it's not their fault that they are say going through like a harder time or a lower emotion. But what you can do so it doesn't affect you is you can energy shield yourself so that you'll be able to have compassion for them or be able to see that they're struggling, but it won't stick to you. It's almost like it will just slide on past you, right around your bubble of light. And I think that's what it's talking about with being able to live in harmony in your environments. I definitely think this is a workplace thing where you might feel really heavy at work and you're not really sure what to do about it. It's definitely just saying, like, you know, they're going to feel the way they're feeling and they have a right to feel that way. And they're probably just going through some stuff, working through some stuff. Some people might not be working through it. They might just be kind of stuck in it. But how you can not get held up about that is definitely energy shielding. Super big energy shield. Huge recommendation for this pile. And then the Song of the Siren, the call, summoning voice to acknowledge, and this journey of the soul and pilgrimage, crossing deep waters, and Farewell to the Moon talks about appreciating lunar cycles. So these three cards I feel like are really talking about a similar thing here. They all feel very moony. Like this card, I know it just has such like white tones. It makes me think so much of the moon energy. And same with this girl. I feel like she's sort of in the the moon energy as well. So I'm wondering here if you are currently or have gone through. Some of you, it could be past energy. Some of you can be kind of, you're in between, where you've started to learn to voice your needs, learning to voice how you're feeling about things. So it could even be standing up for things that you believe in. It could be like, sorry, what I mean by that is that I feel like in past situations someone might have said something, you might really have disagreed with it, felt really, really not okay with it, but then you kind of just swallowed what you would wanted to say about it. And now I feel like it's almost saying like you're voicing how you feel about things. And I almost wonder if this is like gossiping, if people would gossip a lot around you and they think you liked the other people and you're just like, it was like bothering you. I feel like you're getting tighter and tighter and being like, oh, I can't handle this. I don't like this negativeness. I don't like this gossiping thing. And I almost feel like this is like you took the chains off. You took the chains off your throat or your voice and started saying, hey, like, you know what, they're my friend, I really like them, and they're going through a hard time, and like I don't really like talking about them in a negative way, like something like that. I feel like, once again, this feels very office work related, but this came up for soul purpose. So I wonder if this is just something you're here doing in multiple places in your life, but it is a huge thing around your voice. And it even makes sense. Like, I know these are water cards, but you got all these like turquoisey colors. So it just makes me wonder if it's talking about even like the throat healing, finding empowerment. Like the wild card, when I think about this for the throat chakra, I feel like it's like um all the things that you were passionate about saying, or like I want to say defending, I think are starting to come through. I don't think this pile likes bullying, but I feel like you just didn't know how to stop bullying in the future. But now just standing up and saying something to the person saying something to you will just kind of make them feel embarrassed or stop. Or yeah, there's something there going on for sure with the throat chakra. Yeah, so interesting. And when I keep seeing this persistent card, says, may your ripples build the swell. And I almost feel like this is like here saying like you're a role model in the way that you choose to use your voice. So if you're standing up for things and you're being like, you know what, I don't like that. You know, I don't feel good about this and I don't want to be a part of that anymore. I feel like it might feel like everyone is like, oh, that's so scary. I can't believe she stood up for that. Or like there's like this fear other people might feel around it. But then I see how over time you're kind of like the pioneer. You're starting that, the start of it. You're starting the start of it. That doesn't really make sense, but like you're creating the first wave, the first ripple, and then eventually will turn into waves. Like there's so many people who will follow that lead, but it does just take time, and you might not even see the ripple that you're causing. I definitely feel like there's a big thing there. And there's so much here talking about I guess it literally says soul journey, but it's just like going within and like facing your shit. And why is that coming up for soul purpose? I feel like I just feel like there's so much like work for the planet right now around people coming in and breaking ancestral patterns, and I feel like that's what I'm getting here. Like it's ancestral pattern, but it's like a common one that so many people on this planet faced for a while. So I feel like there's a really big thing there. I can't put my finger quite on it, but I just see like going within and accepting and working with like the moon energy, the feminine energy, the divine feminine, um, is leading you down this whole new path. That, I know what I think that's what it is. I feel like you're being guided by like the divine feminine, and it's changing the way you're seeing the world and changing how you speak in the world and changing how you just even act in the world. I hope this is making sense to you all, because I feel like it's so powerful, but I'm like not quite hitting the nail on the head. I mean, I guess I feel like I'm missing the person, you, to like fill in the blanks for me about where I'm not quite sure I'm missing this big thing that you're doing. I'm still so drawn to this card. So drawn. to it. It just feels so powerful, and I think it just confirms that you're really rising in frequency and in vibration, especially if you're starting to feel iffy or gross or a little pulled down or a little lower around environments that aren't the same frequency as you. That's like a great confirmation that you're doing better. You're getting higher, you're feeling lighter. So I feel like there's just like a thing here I have to say, like I don't want you to dislike the people around you or like the workplace because it feels heavier. Like you being there, being bright is so powerful. And just if you energy shield, honestly, it shouldn't affect you the way that it currently has been. It shouldn't be able to lower your vibe if you're put the intention that nothing will stick to you that is not yours. So yeah, I feel like, I don't know, maybe you've said a lot of things at your work about it draining you, bringing you down. It's hard to be around these people. It's like, don't feel disempowered by your this workplace or the people there. Feel like empowered that you can literally say like, it's not going to stick to me, it's not going to touch me, you know? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think that's what it is. There's like some kind of a bit of a disempowerment thing going on. But you can be empowered. You can energy shield. You can say, I will not take you home. You're not mine. I release you. Anything like that. Interesting though, I feel like for soul purpose wise, I feel like this is actually talking a lot about that, about the wild card being a little bit different than others, being a little, what's the word? Spontaneous, and being kind of a free thinker. So being someone who does see the world a little bit different than others, someone who enjoys things that are a little bit different than others. And I feel like you almost like to play a little bit with the chaos. Like, it doesn't mean that you want chaos in your life, but it's like you do find fun in some chaotic moments. Like, I don't know, like say maybe like some intense sports that wouldn't surprise me. I don't like maybe even surfing. I'm thinking of other things though, like maybe ice climbing, maybe paragliding, hang gliding, things that can feel a little scary to people because there's a lot of things to manage, but you kind of like that. You like the challenge of it. Curious, I think this is even going into like, how do you even try these random things? Is your curiosity. You're very curious. Why is something like that? You're really living true to the integrity of the soul desire of being here just to experience different things. So when I see curiosity, I feel like it's really, really is to just experience life and live this life and just collect different memories and have amazing moments. And heard, may you brave call, oh, sorry, may your brave call be carried on the wind. That's really interesting that heard comes through when I see this. I didn't even read that, so sorry. I know I said it at the start, but I just, for some reason, blanked on it. When I see the song of the siren, I think this is just a double confirmation that the things you're going to say are going to have great influence on the world. So I don't know if you're in a position where you'll do like, I want to say TEDx talks. That's not going to be for everyone. Maybe you're a teacher. Maybe you're going to be a guest speaker at events. Maybe it's for corporate events. Maybe it's for schools. Um, Maybe you have a podcast or a TV show or something like that. I don't know, but I feel like talking is in your future. Being heard for what you have to say is big. Could even just be a teacher, I should say. Teachers have a lot to share. So yeah, something going on there. And I guess the fact this is Song of the Siren, I even wonder if some of you are singers, literally singing. Maybe meditational music or healing frequency music or something like that, where it's clearing the environments for people or something there. There's something for sure there. I just can't put my finger on it for the general card reading. Let's see what else is going on. You know what? This card, I can't stop thinking about. You just want to be here to experience life again. I know it said that with the curious and the wild card, but look at all the things going on in this card. They have good quality champagne. They have a cute little pooch. They have some material stuff. They've got a little crystal ring. There's like some fitness over here. There's like, I see this as general like exploring, travel, taking care of your health, eating good, enjoying sort of the, what some people might say, the gluttonous things in life. Like, I just feel like you really want to live it all. You're here to experience it all. Don't limit yourself and be like, oh, well, maybe I should just do this, or most people don't do that much. Don't deny yourself that, because you're really just here to live it all, to enjoy it all, to just experience the beauty of life, the experiences of life. And then begin. You may start as if you have already begun. this card is kind of stumping me for what exactly it's trying to say. I mean, the picture is just so been speaking to me this whole time, but I can't quite put my finger on the importance of it. Begin. Yeah. I guess I almost want to say just like it's time for you to step into your future. Oh, maybe that's even what it is. Like maybe it's important for you not to get caught in thinking of the past too much because your future has um so much for you. There's so much going on in the future. I mean, I was saying like this whole like whatever you're going to do with your voice, that's going to be huge. And I feel like this living in luxury, experiencing it all, that's also coming in the future. Travel for sure. Huge travel vibe here. I even get retreat vibe actually when I'm looking at all these cards. It feels very retreaty. So maybe there'll be something that you're doing there. But yeah, maybe that's just what it is. You might find yourself sometimes getting stuck in the past or thinking or reflecting a lot of the past, which, I mean, there is time and place for that. But I feel like your true focus should be on future events and not past events because you're so different now that your past events just almost feel like a different lifetime. It almost feels like if you were to think too much about your past, then it's almost like looking too much into a past life because you're just so different and everything's so different. Whole new chapter. Maybe that's even what this means. There's a whole new chapter ahead for you. So much travel and so much beauty. And that may perceive nature's artistry afresh. Yeah, definitely feel like a meditation retreat coming for this person. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it is a general card reading, but yeah, I feel like there's just some kind of retreat coming your way. I want to say near an ocean or near water. But yeah, I don't know. There's something there. Lots of nature wherever you're going. It's very beautiful. I'm trying to see if there's anything else I need to share with this pile, but yeah, I don't know. You know what? Maybe I read one card for the last pile, so maybe I'll read this one for you. Because it's been the card where I feel like it's talking the most about your purpose, or your soul purpose right now. Sorry, it just takes a second to find them sometimes. Okay. Okay. So here we go. It says, all elementals wish for you to free your voice, to sing your song, and to make a sound that will contribute to the energy of the world. But no one wants you to sing more than the beautiful mermaids. We mermaids and music go together. We sing while combining our we sing while combing our long living hair with the rocks, crooning to the ocean a song of love and tenderness. Our song connects you to the ebb and flow of the sea and her tides, the moon, and to your body and its rhythms too. The song they sing is life giving and creates energetic nourishment. When you sing your song, you will be nourishing the world, no matter what you may have been told about your voice. Some say that the way the worlds are opened and you can enter the realm of fairy, magic, or mermaid is by song. That song holds the key, quite literally, to openings, where we transcend and move through realities. Yeah, not totally what I thought I would say, but it works. And then it just goes to show that there's so much power in your voice and there's not a lot more you need to think about it. There's just so much power there. And it's so important that you express your beauty within you to the world. Yeah, okay. Well, I guess that's where we'll leave it. Hopefully that brought a little bit of something for you all. Know that you are on a pilgrimage and a journey of the soul. And there's a lot. I feel like you're really just at the start. Like they said, you're just beginning. There's so much in your future ahead of you. It's going to be quite cool. Very, very cool. just stay curious, I guess, and don't be afraid to use your voice. And I just want to just add this in case you missed it, but the energy shielding feels really important. And if you have Reiki or some kind of energy clearing, or if you just do a guided meditation that clears your chakras, I would recommend that, because I think this card is coming up because you're needing to clear your energy. Like I said, you can do that yourself. You can see a practitioner for it, but if you just even do like a guided meditation on focusing on each chakra and releasing anything that's not yours, or you can even say things like, if you're not mine, I release you now and you must leave. Just stuff like that. But I would recommend doing something because I feel like that's a big message for this pile. Okay, you all have a wonderful day, and maybe I'll catch you around. Hello, pile 3. Hopefully you all are doing good today. You chose the Smoky Quartz point. Okay, I'm just gonna put it next to the other pile ones here, and we'll see what you got. Okay, so we have allow. We soften into what is. We have enough. We have reflect. Fluid. Lightness. A lot of similar cards. We have love. I'll put that over here. Free. May your soul sing freely. Freedom. That's funny, right next to the free card. Independence, self-determination, fertility, powerful creative energy, inertia energy, initiation energy, sorry, falling in love. Oh, wow. It's funny, I was just thinking how I've never seen this card come out. Kissing the divine in another, in yourself. Such a beautiful card. The mirror. Know thyself, self-examination, seeing who you really are. Another card I thought was interesting that it's never come out. And then we have, I'll try to say it right, ensues. Yeah, we'll put that up here. Okay, I think you can more or less see the cards. Okay, it's kind of funny. My cat is just sitting on my lap now, purring up a storm. I wonder if you can hear that or not. He's our loudest purr of our cats. But if you can, that's just what it is. He's very happy. Okay, pile 3. So I know this is a soul purpose reading, or one of your soul purposes, but I actually feel like this pile is talking more about a soul lesson that you chose to learn. This feels very contracted, like you decided this before coming here, that you wanted to learn this, to have this as like an experience that you overcome or conquered or learned from. So what wasn't determined is how long it takes you to learn this lesson. So you might have had many relationships that made you feel, I don't quite want to say imprisoned, but not like yourself in. That felt confining, that felt conditional. That's the word I'm looking for. Conditional. Like you had to be a certain way to be accepted, or if you just had one relationship and that's all it took for you to realize that this wasn't for you. So I feel like it could have been any of those two options. It could only have been a handful of relationships. Yeah, so this feels very soul lesson, like I was saying, and it all was for you. Ultimately, your soul wanted to learn how to be yourself. the mirroring card is so interesting. I feel like how to get a lot of independence, free, feeling enough, being adaptable, allowing yourself to be you, being loved for who you are. There's so much around the theme of being just so unforgivably yourself. Okay, sorry about that. My camera battery died there. Come here, little buddy. Okay, so I already lost track of what exactly I was saying. Know thyself, self-examination, seeing who you really are. All right. So what I was going on about with the soul lesson that I think you were here to learn was, yeah, just how to know yourself. And so I think by being in a relationship where you felt like there was conditional acceptance or love given, or there just wasn't like a deep connection or closeness there. For some of you, could have been slightly toxic relationships, could have been dysfunctional relationships, something like that. Maybe one, just like the person you were dating couldn't really go very deep and show their whole self, and maybe there was a lot of miscommunications because there just was a lack of communication and a lack of wanting to be vulnerable. I think those would be common issues you would have had in some past relationships, and that all of that was to bring you to a place where you wanted to um, get to a place where you could have a deeper relationship. So it kind of threw you on a health journey, a self-discovery journey is how I would see it. Reflecting on yourself, why you do the things you do, who are you, finding your own independence, asking who you are. That's why I feel like it could be a relationship thing where maybe you were doing what the partner wanted to do or what they liked to do, and they liked doing something that was like societally normal or something like that. So when I see the freedom, independence, knowing who you are, it just tells me that you had some time where you just were like, who am I and what do I actually like to do? What do I enjoy doing? What gets me excited? And then I think there's even an element of being okay with doing things by yourself, maybe trying something new and going into a new group and not even knowing the other people there. Just so much self growth. That was the big lesson. So much self growth, so much independence, so much empowerment, and really knowing who you are. And I even think like there could have been things where you could have gotten triggered by certain people, or there was like certain types, archetypes, or personalities that you just didn't get along with for any particular reason. And I think there was some mirror work that you did to help with those relationships. So this is usually when I talk about there being someone at work who you don't even really know why, you just are so irritated by them, or you just really don't like something about their personality. And there wasn't one event that made you dislike them, it's just who they are. There's something there that bothers you. And usually it's because we have a microscopic version of that in ourselves that we tried to hide. So their main characteristic or attribute is something that we hate within ourselves or have been ashamed of within ourselves. So I think you've worked through something like that. You might still have a few layers of that yet, but I think you've come so far. It feels like this is a lesson you learned and you were meant to learn. And I feel like ultimately it was all for you to be able to fully love yourself and to have like that deeper relationship, partnership that you want to have, a deep soulmate. But you had to learn that you were enough, that you could do things on your own. And I just feel like there is just knowing that you're capable and you're powerful and you can handle life, but you choose to have a partner. You choose to have this experience because partnership there's something beautiful to experience there. And then the whole fluid and lightness. I just keep getting this. These two cards are talking about being adaptable, being able to bounce back from like maybe rejection or bounce back from things not working the way you thought they should, and just being like, there's something else for me. Like this isn't the end of my life. There's so much more out there yet for me to experience. So I wonder if you used to take things very hard, like as like if you wanted something and it didn't work out. I wonder if it like devastated you and almost maybe almost knocked you out of your body is almost the word I want to use. Maybe it used to like make you lose all your routines, all your self care. Everything might have gone in the toilet, something like that. And now I feel like because of this independence, this knowing who you are and knowing you can do things for yourself, I think you're able to adapt and handle the unknown. As something comes to you, you can just respond instead of react. Maybe that's the right words. Yeah, super cool. And the fertility card, potential, powerful, creative energy, inertia energy, initiation energy. I really get that this card is talking about where you are right now. You are in a place where you're ready to start calling in that what you initially wanted. Like I think that more vulnerable connection, better relationships in general. I think more supportive community. I think there's just like some sort of experience that you're wanting to have. I don't know if that is like a travel thing or a certain type of job that makes you feel a certain way, but there's something else here where this pile is trying to call that in. And I'm just seeing so much confirmations that you've done a lot, you've grown a lot, and you are in a great position right now for that growth energy. You are like, I feel like you're just so ready. You've been doing a lot of stuff. And I think there's just a reminder that keep that up, keep doing the self-care, keep being the things keep being the things, sorry, keep doing the things that you're loving, exploring, I think, and reflecting about what's going on within yourself, staying in touch with yourself. There's so much, yeah, so much to this. Yeah, I definitely keep getting though that you're calling something in. You're calling something in, and I think you're feeling quite ready for it. And then even the interesting thing here. So I know these are talking about freedom, being powerful within yourself, loving yourself, and the mirror cards. Mirror cards mean just so much reflection. I know I've kind of talked about this, but I mean it's such a powerful card because it really talks about seeing your shadow and seeing it in yourself and seeing it in other people, and then learning to realize, like I almost feel like forgiving them for having the attribute that you aren't proud of. There's so much work in this card. It's such a powerful deep work card. But this card here also talks though about finding your inner wisdom and power. So it's just such a big theme for this pile. Everything, I feel like all these cards are talking so strongly about finding insight and wisdom from your own opinions, from going within yourself and not looking outside of yourself for what you should do or the right decision for you. And it just really comes from learning that you're independent and you're powerful. And I feel like it's also even talking about being more open-minded too, I think, because the energy you kind of got is that before you kind of felt like this is what happens, is what you do, and you're kind of following the norm. And then now it's almost like you're cracking open the cookie and you can see that there's so many potentials out there. You can be whoever you want to be. And if you like who you were, then you can keep being that. But if you want to be something different, then you can also do that. It's just so like in your hands. It's so up to you to decide which path you want to go down. And it even talks also about having undergone a really long stage of discomfort, like being uncomfortable, feeling a little uncomfortable, looking at the shadow, going within yourself, but realizing that you could overcome it, you can live through it, and you are stronger because of it. And you know who you are more because of it, because of being uncomfortable. And it's a good kind of uncomfortable too, right? There's so many different types of discomfort, but I feel like this one's the good type, the one that makes you feel a little like, I have to look at the things I've been hiding. So I'm trying to see if there's any other messages, but I think, although it's short and sweet, I think this was the main one. I did read a card from the guidebook, for the other piles, and I'm wondering if I will do the same for you. I'm debating between the falling in love and the mirror card. Maybe I'll read them both. Why not? It hasn't been a very long card reading, so we can read them both here. So the falling in love. There may be no closer moment of connection, of utter merging with the divine than the experience we have called falling in love. It is so important we do this. We allow ourselves to be overwhelmed and we surrender to bliss, but also to the possibility of pain, of betrayal or disappointment, and of disillusionment. Therefore, we mermaids urge you to fall in love, but to allow yourself to be real, honest, vulnerable, and to move on if this love becomes painful, unfulfilling, or continually a compromise. Falling in love is a divine miracle, truly, but there are stereotypes about how it looks. Books with strange names like The Rules, and the idea that gets attached to a person who has no idea what your hopes and dreams are. So foolish as it may make you feel, do not be cool. Be true to yourself. Fall in love and with another and fall in love with your own honesty and vulnerability. Kiss the bliss, taste the nectar of love, and share the ecstasy, but also experience the utter breakthrough and freedom of honesty. It may not come all at once, but little by little, let falling in love teach you the lessons that as you recognize the divine in another, so too must they recognize the divine within you. It must be mutual, and it must be a boon, not an instrument of torture or a manipulation. Bless you, beautiful people, for having the ability. Now go further and fall in love with one another, each other, and the planet, the animals, the beings, and elementals, the ocean, and yourselves. Nature will then be at peace and well and blossoming once again. So, huge thing in saying not to compromise, to be vulnerable and honest. And then if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But there is just a beauty in even experiencing the love connection. So I feel like this is so great because I was talking so much about it being vulnerable and having depth. So I think this card really validated that. And then the mirror card, I want to read this just because it feels like this is some deep work you've had to do. Here it is. Water is a great mirror, and the darker it is, the clearer the reflections of the water around it will be. And so it is with life. The clear mirror we can look into will show us who we appear to be. But the dark mirror, metaphorically, is when life or the sea or our feelings become darker, more complex, sad, thoughtful, deep, and at times very painful. But it is at these times that we can see who we truly are. For under duress or true character can be observed. Our true character can be observed. And sometimes we do not always like the truth of what we see in the dark mirror. But the mermaid can help us with this, as she holds up a mirror, but a magical one, that not only shows us our appearance, it shows all of ourselves, our sweetness, our hurts, and our scars. In it, we may see what is hidden to the eye or of the body, but known to the eyes of the soul. In dreams, these mirrors may appear in an emotional times when we release that we are still hurting, or have wounds we have sought to cover up. There is no need to cover up or camouflage in this beautiful mirror, nor is it right to judge the scars and wounding, or the beauty and the glory. They simply are, and by seeing clearly, especially in the dark mirror of the great Mother Ocean, we can see who we are. While we swim in clear waters, we can see the light and positive. But then when we swim in dark waters, we can truthfully see so much of who we are and make changes, adaptations, or come to accept the truth of who we are without seeking to adjust. We come to self-love, self-knowledge, and self-healing. Says this card is an ally and wonders and healings will unfold. So yeah, that was kind of long, but I think it also is just referring back to, there is a lot of growth and a lot of things to learn when we see the things that we are hiding deeper within us. Okay, I think that was short and sweet, but I think I'll leave it there. Yeah, lots coming your way, I see. A lot of lessons, but these cards just tell me of so much beautiful things coming your way. I mean, just even check out this card. Maybe you need to see it a little bit closer. The colors are amazing. Everything about it is gorgeous. Very beautiful. And I think it was all for you to experience this. All these life lessons that you went through around relationships and self-worth was because you wanted to learn it so you could truly obtain that higher relationship, that higher, deeper, vulnerable connection. Okay, that's all I have for you all. I hope you have a wonderful day, and maybe I'll catch you around.